quality packaging at its finest. But you know, we're gonna start this one off with a thank you to everybody who's been subscribing. If you're new here and you haven't been around for a long time, we build crappy stuff in a small garage, and usually it has an LS and it's turbocharged. So S10 has a motor. Off camera I did go ahead and get the motor mounts knocked out. I'm gonna pull the motor up to take the oil pan off because I marked the locations where I want the returns roughly to be, I think, kind of. I'll weld the insides of these because I just welded the front and the back of the outside, and then I'll nip this little corner and pretty all that up, throw some paint on it. But I've been sitting here thinking about this, and I need to make sure I do this S10 properly. The Mustang was half-assed, I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, it made a bunch of power, it was fun. That thing drove so terrifyingly, just askew. Everything was just not happy. I don't want the steering on this to come out that way. That's part of why I built the Envoy, was I wanted something with just a lot of horsepower and the motor being stock. You know, that came with a GM 4200 straight six or whatever they're called in some of the models. That particular Envoy is an XL, so it was a factory L33 aluminum 5.3. I just did all the turbo stuff because that's what I do. HB tuners, turbo stuff, yada yada. Envoy drives like a stock vehicle at whatever speed you're at, whatever, you know, blowing the tires off. That's what I wanted. The Mustang at 20 miles an hour felt like you're gonna crash. At 120 it felt like you were just dead. When it would haze the tires at 100, you so yeah, with the S10 being another thing that I've completely started from scratch and modified everything, I don't want the same result of just garbage. So obviously we got the seat, we have a bunch more motion stuff. We did get our Brian Tooley head gaskets, which my son loves the box. He's 7 months old. He loves the box from the BTR head gaskets. It's hilarious. Tried to give him the cam box and he wasn't about it. But the head gasket box, couldn't throw it in the fireplace because he loves it. So I've been just cleaning stuff, you know, being a stay-at-home dad, which is kind of what the channel revolves around. Is I'm a stay-at-home dad and I do all this stuff in a crappy half-assed garage and carport, like I said. I've just been cleaning. I used to deal with this stuff, you know, a half-inch thick layer of grime and everything on the heads. No, not anymore. I have a snap-on parts washer in the back, that super old school one that I've been setting up. I haven't been using it though. I've just been using the good old wire brush and some brake clean. But for 230,000 mile heads, these things and the valve covers, everything is spotless. So with head bolts, push rods, heads, everything ready, the rocker stands, everything's cleaned. We just needed the lifters and the cam. Cam is in the motor. We're waiting on the head gaskets basically to put everything together because we had lifters. I went ahead and pulled the lifters out of the box that they were in already. They sent them kind of pre-oiled in this weird little styrofoam container thingy. But new LS7 lifter trays, new LS7 lifters. I just threw them in a thing of oil, pre-oiled them. So now I don't know what to do. Thinking about all this stuff, I need to get the steering on. But to do the steering with the TRZ manual rack and everything, I have to make my own steering shaft. Well, to make the steering shaft, I need to have the turbo manifolds on, or the exhaust manifolds, which will be just flipped for the turbo setup, the twins. I don't want to start building the steering shaft without everything here. So that leads to, we should put the heads on. Because if the heads are on, then I can at least roughly mock up the manifold, or where the manifolds are going to go. I'll have an idea. That lets me do the steering shaft, which lets me do the manual brakes somewhere over here, blah blah blah. Lets me put the steering wheel in. It lets me, it lets me do the motion steering wheel and the strange quick release, which are actually underneath the head gaskets, because Motion is the best company ever. The Black Friday deals were irresistible. I did jump on an MPI. It still smells like butterscotch in here. Doug, Andy, you guys, your candy is too good. Like I wish you guys could smell that. It still smells like butterscotch. I normally would have given my son a little bit of that, but that was mine. I love butterscotch. That was mine. So yeah, got the wheel, got the head gaskets, got the quick release. Don't fall. need to get all that installed so we can get the other stuff going. So like I said, I have to take these U-joints for the steering column, and then I have to use that chromoly, and I have to make my own steering column. So I don't want to be going to make a steering column and having, you know, stuff fall off or be in the way. So we're gonna go ahead and get the heads on. We'll go lifters, head gaskets, heads. Well, lets me tape up the intake runners and stuff until my intake gaskets get here. I can throw the TBSS intake on it and all that. But I'm rambling now. Let's get to work. Let's get these heads on. Let's get these manifolds mocked up, and let's start from there. See where we end up. One side, good to go. I gotta torque the trays real quick for the lifters. Obviously, do the same thing to the other side. Just clean the deck, make sure the lifters are all in and straight. New trays down. They're LS7 GM replacement lifters and trays, obviously. Cams in. This is gonna let me get all that stuff down. The heads are ready. I just have the valve covers finger tight on there because I did go ahead and throw a new gasket and it was being kind of a butthead. Staying in the retention groove for the gasket on the valve cover, so I just loosely set it in there and set those down to kind of hold it in place. I'll pull these off, get those all down. They're cleaned up pretty dang good. I am reusing the head bolts. I know a bunch of people would probably, you know, have a heart attack and Lawn Boy has head studs, why isn't this? Because this is cheap and fast. 8s for 8 inspired this kind of. This is gonna be like 9s for 4. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. We're just gonna go fast and see what happens. But I'm gonna get the rest of this assembled, get it together, and stop talking because I want to work. I want to get this thing just burning the tires. I'm so antsy now. The little bit of time I get to work on it here and there at the end of the day and stuff after watching the kids and taking care of everything, it's valuable. So me doing this is kind of hard to film and then stop and then film and stop. But I like making content for you guys. Thank you to all new subscribers, like I said earlier, and let's get these heads on and get some stuff mocked up. Alrighty, I already did 190 pass on one set, or on one head. Time to do the second on the next head. And watching A21 Bravo, like I said, to verify I wanted to do this second pass. That's what I figure. If I bust a head bolt, we can see on camera. See, that one just felt like it yielded. It was stretched, like you said.
Guys, so we're going to talk about our feelings right now. I took all of the head bolts and loosened them up last night. So, some of this may be for no reason, some of it may be...
Man, this is terrifying. Sweating so much. And how do you do this?
Right, so you have your initial torque spec, and then you have the yielding, which would be the bolt stretching, where you have your angle, which I understand the angle and the yielding of it, but the problem that I have with this whole process is I'm sure a lot of you guys are...
That was the last one? So we gotta do the 10s with the weapons here.
Very different spots. Somewhere like a quarter turn.
And that is a scary thing to do. Look at my hair. I'm almost sweaty. Let's get the rest of these bolts in, some tape on, and mock up a manifold or two. Holy, not focus. Yeah, look at that. That looks to be a TBSS intake on the motor. Heads are on, torqued everything down, torqued the rocker arm assembly down. Looking at everything, I don't even want to try and mock up the manifold. But let's go ahead and find out together, shall we? Let's flip the screen up so I can see what's happening. I can tell this battery's about to die. I'm assuming I was going to go up and forward. I am not going to go up and forward with these, that's for sure on that side. There. I hope I can pull this back or figure something out, because I may be in a lot of trouble there. Yeah, the way this shaft is close to the head is not ideal. So obviously I would cut this one off. I could cut this EGR block off that they have off. It's factory. Forward and down. Not gonna fit. Oh, I hear a baby. Actually, that might fit. Oh, dude. You guys can't see. Crap, where are you at? Are you in the shot? You in the shot, guys? Dude, we got it. It fits. That steering shaft is going to be hell, especially with the column. coming down, and then the rack. Oh yeah. Oh, we are gonna be in for it. But with that, I'm gonna figure out the rest of this off camera. Start digging into pulling the seat out. I have all the stuff for the seat and the steering wheel and everything. I'll probably start to mock up the column a little bit more. Once the column is mocked up more, I can start to work on the rack and the manifold on that side. All stuff for another video, so hopefully you guys are sticking around, subscribing. You can hit that little bell for notifications if you want to know when some dude with crazy hair who needs a haircut posts stupid videos that suck and don't have a lot of content. But thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for liking and commenting and everything. Catch you guys later. Average Joe Builds, out.